Hello everyone, welcome to the seventh episode of Art Travel Cast. Today's topic will be the stereotypes about artists. As we are artists, we know a lot about them.
Yes, one of my favorite stereotypes is that every artist always wears the same clothes and is poor. Moreover, some people think that this aesthetic lifestyle is a choice because artists don't want to be rich, and that the most important thing for them is only art. Real life is irrelevant.
When you said this, I immediately remembered our friend, or rather yours, who told us what his day was like creating, reading, no work, because there was no place for it, no money. I always see him sitting in the empty room with candles. He fits this stereotype perfectly. Fortunately, there are few such people.
Yes, such an aesthetic lifestyle. But this stereotype is also related to another aspect, namely that artists are not enterprising and have no idea about life and reality. I remember a situation when we tried to sell the apartment. When the buyer found out that we were artists, he immediately changed his approach to us. However, he quickly realized that his vision as an artist was illusory.
Oh yeah, when someone hears that you are an artist, they immediately change their approach. And the first thought is that you are in the clouds all day and that you think that you are create to higher goals. This time we clean, pay bills on the time, and go to the doctor in the same way. It's obvious.
A romantic vision of an artist floating in the clouds, or an artist as a spiritual individual, not often chosen from among the nation. These stereotypes most often appear in public space. There are even doubt about it at school.
You're right. I also really like it when someone knows me, but not our work. He sees them and decides that these paintings don't suit me. Well, thank you for your opinion. Next.
Definitely. It has happened many times that someone has been a bit confused after seeing our work. Some people imagined that we were creating another Last Supper, but he saw something that, in his opinion, was not art at all.
Well, all roads lead to the fact that contemporary art is not art. Another stereotype I would like to talk about is that we don't dress like artists. Many times I said that I am artist and someone said, yes, you don't look like an artist. Sorry, I'm going back to home to get some colorful clothes.
Artists don't wear heels. I have heard many times that I'm too elegant to be an artist. I would also like to mention the stereotype of emotional instability. Every artist must have depression and show it ostentatiously.
Yeah, everyone suffers from mental illness or addictions. This is a necessity. You can't be an artist without it.
You also need to have a certain past. And of course, everything we are talking about also happens in our case, but not always and not every time. I think it's also a stereotype that only men are artists.
Yeah, of course. A visual artist comes from a low social background, a poor family, and a small town. But it is different in the case of an actor or singer. They are always from a rich family because their parents make a career for them. And of course, a woman can be a model, a muse, a maid, but not an artist.
I agree. It's very easy to get labels like that. And artists are not serious. Some says artists can be forgiven for anything. To this stereotype, artists are not taken into account because they have no idea about anything except art. They don't know anything else.
It gets interesting when artists speak loudly about their political views because they shouldn't. Why? Because they're artists.
Mm-hmm. Are you an artist and know geopolitics? Impossible. Or are you an artist and know physics? Interesting, because if we talk about stereotypes, about the artist's visions, then some people forget about the Renaissance man. How it's possible that in such a situation, for example, Da Vinci is not mentioned?
I think that in the case of Da Vinci, most people remember the designer, engineer, inventor, and by the way, he made the frescoes. An interesting stereotype is that people believe that artists create art for art's sake, not for money.
Yes, you're right. And everyone wants to be appreciated only after death and also eat dry bread. Art for art's sake, it's a beautiful phrase, but completely untrue. Even if someone writes into a drawer, they would still like someone to discover it.
Discovered and paid.
Yes.
Another way to think, people don't understand that you may not know every field of art. You are a painter and someone asks if you will write the lyrics to a song, or you write detective novels and someone asks about poem.
Mm-hmm. In such a situation, you are not an artist. You have to fulfill someone else's imagination. It's also a stereotype that every artist paints portraits. And then the famous question, will you paint my portrait? And if for some reason you refuse, you are not an artist.
Of course, the same as with creating contemporary art. You paint abstractions because you can't draw a person or a horse. Sure, I'm just splashing paint here.
Mm-hmm. And a classic surprise that Picasso painted a realistic painting before his style was developed. People forget that contemporary art often requires context, or that it's up to the viewer to respond with what they see. And I think it can be said that thinking in terms of only figurative paintings is painting is a stereotype.
Sure, in my opinion, it's sad that because of all the stereotypes, people hide or are afraid to call themselves artists because they think they don't deserve it. They are too weak at creating art, and I probably fit at least one of these stereotypes, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm proud of being an artist, and I say it aloud.
Mhm. Yes, there is a grain of truth in every stereotype, and of course, some of them apply to me to some extent, but as with all stereotypes, you should be open and think carefully before giving to superficial an opinion. And I think we can end today's conversation on this note. Please watch the next episode next Tuesday.